7 games and loads of goals on tonight's match of the day, including at the Merseyside derby. And I'm joined in the studio by a red and a blue. Welcome to Wayne Rooney and to Danny Murphy. So Liverpool came into the derby top of the Premier League with 4 wins from 4. Everton's David Moyes has never won at Anfield. Steve Wilson watched this one.
Taking everything into account, that we had to play our third game in 7 days and playing Wednesday evening, having the early kick-off, taking that all into account and then playing the derby and winning it with a great first half performance is good.
People keep saying that being 2-0 up is the worst thing Liverpool can be.
Yeah. No, but I think we had also the opportunity to score more, but 2-1, then you know, especially in this game, Everton with the defense that they have, and they keep coming, then you have to defend. But next time, we don't concede.
I think somebody said to me, I think they had maybe 9 attempts at goal and a couple, 3 or 4 on target, and we had 7. So maybe in the end of the day there wasn't so much between it. We've got no problems. The players are doing really well, and we just pulled up a little bit short against one of the best teams in the league, if not the best. And it shows that we're coming a long way.
You got a yellow card after the final whistle for a disagreement with the referee. Can I ask you what that was for?
He gave Kiernan a yellow card for taking a quick free kick, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, you can't give. We want to get we're losing. Do you know what I mean? Like, we want to get the ball back in play and carry on playing, and he gives him a yellow card. It baffles me. That's so unheard of. I've never heard of that in my life. So I was just saying that to him, and then also I was saying, where'd you get 3 minutes from and 1 minute in the first half for extra time? I've never heard of that either. Come on. Yeah. Usually it's 4 or 5 minutes in it. So yeah, listen, it is what it is. We move on. And then I didn't even know that he gave me a yellow actually. So that's news to me.
Well, he knows now. And he also talked about added time at the end of the game, but really it wasn't the second half where the game was won. It was a very different second half from the first, where Liverpool put it beyond Everton in the end.
Yeah, they were really bright and sharp first half. I think he made some changes which helped them, the freshness. But I thought what they did really well is utilise the space behind Everton's midfield 3 and the back 4. The gaps were too big, and Liverpool were really intelligent in how they got the ball in there early. We see early on, there's the Everton midfield 3, locked in on their opponents without really thinking about the space behind them. I kind of get it early on, but they get caught out. This time it's Kirkes from the left-back position. Terrific ball. There's the space. Yeah, maybe the back 4 could squeeze up a little bit there, but the midfield's job early on, condense that space, be compact, then they're on to the back 4. They actually defend this one pretty well and get away with it, but it was an early warning for them, to be honest. Gravenberch, the holding midfielder, plays the ball, and then he just continues his run because they switch off, and there's that big gap again we're talking about. When you're playing against players of such quality, they're going to rotate positions. They're going to come in off the wide areas. The deep midfielder's bright. He's brilliant, by the way. He's been terrific the last 3 games. Szoboszlai in the familiar role. Look, they're so preoccupied with looking at the ball that the gap behind them, they're not thinking about. And maybe the communication between the back line and midfield wasn't great. And again, they get let off the hook here. Szoboszlai free on the edge of the box. I think it's Tarkowski gets the block on this occasion. Ekitike dropped into these lovely little pockets. He likes doing that. Gakpo swap places with him. And then, of course, good players. They find the spare man in the hole. And when you continually give up that space, as Everton did, you're going to be under the cosh. And at times they were hanging on, and Liverpool, were really dominant in their first half. Again, that man I've talked about, Gravenberch, he's in that space, a holding midfielder. He's gone past McAllister, he's gone past Szoboszlai, super little pass into the forward of Ekitike, who gets another goal and did really well this afternoon. To be fair to Everton in the second half, they must have talked about it because they were more compact, they won more second balls, they condensed that space more and didn't get too preoccupied with what was ahead of them. And from there, they got a foundation into the game. But job done first half, really bright. Yeah,
they did improve, Everton, but could they have done more to stop the goals?
Yeah, I think they could have. I think the goals were really poor goals for Everton to concede. And, when you go into Anfield, you want to be tight, you want to be solid and not give any easy chances away. And I just felt the goals were too easy for Liverpool to score. So if we look here, you look at Ghana Guy in particular in the middle of the pitch. as Gravenberch lays the ball off, he just carried on his run. Michael Keane gets sucked across, I think too far, and then the minute that happens, Tarkowski should come across to cover him, but he doesn't. He goes too late, and Gravenberch carries on his run, and it's a wonderful ball and an unbelievable finish. And the second goal here, I think, when you look at the back line of Everton, if you look at them there, they never get up, they never get compact, they never get together, they never get on one line. And as Danny said, with Ekitike, he's a good player. He's really clever here. He can see that Mykolenko is deeper. He knows he can stay in behind Michael Keane. And then Michael Keane can't get back. Tarkowski doesn't cover quick enough. But just here, if you look at Tarkowski, I think if he goes with his left leg, he blocks the shot. He doesn't. He shortens his stride and then goes with his right leg there. And then that allows Ekitike to get his shot off, and it's a fantastic finish. And from there, it makes it very difficult for Everton to get back in the game.
Don't you think, no, Wayne, that some of the confusion comes from Liverpool swapping positions a lot, and then they're like in between and they don't know who's picking who up?
Yeah, I do, but I think on the second goal there, Jordan Pickford plays a long ball. So it's quite easy for Michael Keane, Tarkowski, the leaders in there to make sure they get up and they get on one line, because the minute you don't, that's what happens. They punish you.
The BBC drama series, The City is Ours, referenced there by Hugo Ekitike, clearly a big fan. All episodes available now on iPlayer.
That's good.
Should you want to go and watch it. Look, as far as Liverpool's performance goes, Danny, again, they weren't at their best. Are there signs that they are going to kick into gear, maybe after the next international break, before then, later? What do you think?
I think there's good signs, because in most matches they've had great moments. I thought midweek was a really good performance overall, although they had a little spell in the second half. But today, the more obvious thing was the fatigue from Wednesday night in the second half as the game wore on. You could see that. But still so many new players forming relationships and understanding what each other does. You know, Ekitike is different to Isak. So if you're playing with either one, you have to learn their traits and their characteristics. So to win 5 out of 5, not playing at your best, is a phenomenal start for them, and actually a really good sign.
All right, guys, we're back with another round of FC25 gold packs. Let's see if luck's on our side today. And while we're tearing through these, you know we've got to talk FC26, because hype is building fast. Release day is September 26th, but Ultimate Edition players are getting in on the 19th, so if you're serious, that's the way to go. And don't forget the web app hits around the 17th, companion app on the 18th, perfect to get those starter squads ready. One of the biggest updates for FC26 is how EA is balancing progression. They're slowing down the crazy stat jump so early cards stay useful longer. That means your first week squads won't feel useless after 2 promos. Live events are also being expanded, more tournaments, gauntlets and challenges dropping consistently, so there's always something new to grind. Oh, hold up. That's actually a solid pull right there. Love it when the pack luck shows up, but imagine this in FC26 with a rebalanced system. Every good card will matter more. Career mode players aren't left behind either, live manager challenges, deeper development, and heroes icons fitting in way better. It feels like EA is really focusing on both casual fun and hardcore grind this year. So while we wrap these FC25 packs, just know FC26 is shaping up to be massive. I'll be covering it all, play packs, squads and events, so hit that sub button and get ready for launch week.